Okay guys, what I have right here is a first generation pineapple. It's about 22 months old. They take anywhere from 18 to 24 months to finish, okay? So pineapples kind of have a mind of their own. The big ones like to finish first. So once it gets big, it's gonna ripen quick. The small ones will finish last, okay? So this one's about 22 months. The guys and gals, when they come through here and the pineapple's ripe, they're gonna pick the pineapples by hand. They're gonna have to wear leather chaps, just like what the cowboys used to wear. Rubber boots, rubber gloves, big sunshade hat, blue jeans, long sleeve shirts. They'll come through the pineapples. They'll grab the top of it just like this. They're gonna give it a little bit of a twist. When they twist it like that, they're gonna snap the pineapple off the top of this stem right here. The stem is what they call the peduncle, P-E-D, uncle. And this carries all the nutrients and all the water up from the ground to the bottom of the pineapple, all right? I call it the heart of the plant. That's how it gets everything it needs. Now, if an animal were to chew on this thing, or a human being were to step on it, no more pineapple will come to that plant. So we gotta be careful. We gotta watch out for this thing. Now, pineapple plants, like I said, 2 years for the first one. The next generations are right down here. These little shoots on the bottom create new pineapple. So once the pineapple plant's gone, we got shoots on the bottom. This one's got 5.
Wow.
We only need 1. So we take the 4 off, we put them on the plant shooter truck. She goes out and she plants them in a different garden. And we leave 1 on. Which one do we leave? The big one, this one right here. This big one will be the second generation pineapple for that plant. This one's gonna take 1 year to grow, right? So when this one grows up, just at about 10, 11 months, it's gonna produce its own shoots on the bottom as well too. Those shoots on the bottom will create the third generation pineapple. Those ones will also take a year. So the big one, 2 years, the next one, 1 year, and the third one, 1 year as well. So it takes about 4 to 4.5 years to get 3 pineapple from 1 plant. After that, we let the garden sit fallow or dormant for a period of 3 to 6 months so the nutrients can come back up. Then we'll replow and we'll reintroduce new pineapple plants, okay? Any questions?
Do you guys like trim the other shoots off by hand then?
We don't trim them, we just snap them off. We snap them off. Everything in the field is done by hand. Because here's the thing, if they come through here with a machete and they cut the plant, say they just cut it right here, you kill it. So the pineapple needs to be taken above the shoots. That's the reason why it needs to be snapped off the top of the stem. Now, one thing, if you look at a lot of these plants around here right now, the little buds up on top, you see these little spindles coming off the top. Those spindles are the flower that's gonna come off the berry. That's right, I said berry. Pineapples are berries. So a pineapple is just a cluster of berries. It's the same thing as a raspberry or a blackberry. It's classified as a berry plant. Now, each berry actually starts off with a little tiny flower. And if you look very close at some of these plants, they're starting to flower. You'll see little purple flowers. Not on every single shoot, but sometimes there'll be flowers on the bottom and sometimes there'll be flowers on the top. You gotta look closely. These ones are flowering over here too.
Did you do putting fertilizer?
Absolutely, they get fertilizer 3 times a week. It's sprayed on top of the pineapple plants. It's called foliar feeding.
Pesticides or
Pesticide goes on the plant for the first 6 months of its life. Once the pineapple appears, nothing goes on top of the pineapple plant, right? Except for fertilizer, right? Pesticide until the pineapple appears, and then nothing after that except for fertilizer, okay? All right, so on the next stop, we're gonna talk about ripeness of the pineapple. How you guys would go to the grocery store and how the guys and gals out here choose pineapple for ripeness in the field. That's why we hand pick, because they don't make a machine that goes out in the field and cuts the pineapple down based on ripeness. It either cuts it down, whether it's unripe or ripe or whatever. That's how Dole and Del Monte harvest. They have a pineapple columbine. But the pineapple columbine cuts all the pineapple down at the same time. Pineapples don't ripen at the same time, so that means they're cutting down a lot of pineapple that are unripe. And the thing with pineapple is, it ripens on the plant. It doesn't ripen in the grocery store. So when it's taken off the plant, it's critical. That's why we hand harvest. That way, when we hand harvest, if the pineapple's not ripe, we pass it over. We'll come back and get it next week or next month or 3 months from now, right? We only cut it when it's ripe. That way, when you guys go to local grocery stores and you see Maui Gold, they're ripe and ready to eat right now. You don't get it from the grocery store and put it in a paper bag for 2 weeks. You don't need to do that. They're ready to go as soon as you buy it, okay?
Okay.
All right, Next up, like I said, we're going to talk about ripeness. I'm going to show you guys how to grow your own, and we're going to eat the wonderful fruit right out in the middle of the field, guys. How about that? Come on.
Yes.
You're welcome.